got?
Perfect. All right, I think we are going to be going live soon. Let's see, this is good, that's good. Yep. All right, and we are live. I'm so excited to everyone. Welcome to Finals Break with Farmyard Friends. It's the beginning of finals week for a lot of folks, and we want to give you that opportunity to de-stress with some furry and feathered friends. Just a heads up, after this and every evening this week through Thursday, we have finals resource help. You can drop in to a live Zoom call and work with Hub staff for help on accessing all these different resources for helping you study for finals. Check that out on our website on ahml.info. I'm going to be there tonight after this. But now we are joined by a few of our teen volunteers and Lamb's Farm. We are visiting their farmyard and all the animals they have there. Those of you watching on YouTube, feel free to comment and chat any questions you might have, any requests. Maybe if you want someone to give a small critter a scritch behind an ear, if it's a safe and appropriate animal to scritch behind the ear, I think we can make that happen for you. But let's quickly meet our teens. Why don't you share your first name, what grade you're in, and an animal you're really excited to see. Malu, you want to go first?
Sure. My name is Malu. I'm a senior, and I do like pigs and sheep. I think they're really cute.
No lie there. How about you, Sophia?
Hi, my name's Sophia. I'm a sophomore, and I think one animal I'm really interested in seeing is pigs. I love pigs.
Oh man, I hope they brought pigs. Sounds like pigs are in high demand. Jody, could you tell us a little bit about Lamb's Farm and introduce us to all your friends?
Hi, everyone. I'll just flip my camera really quick. I'm Jody, and I'm the manager here at the Farmyard. I've been here for 20 years in this coming up March. So I should have an answer for every question. And if I don't, I'll make one up. But the Farmyard is here in Libertyville, in Lake County. We're pretty close to Lake Michigan. And we have been, the Lamb's Farm has been in business since 1961. We started as a pet shop in Chicago. And then shortly thereafter, we were donated this piece of land here in Libertyville. And we have one of the oldest barns in Lake County. So we've been lucky enough to move here. And for those of you that don't know, we benefit adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we have about a little bit over 100 people here living on grounds that we support through vocational training. And we also have several homes that we own in the community surrounding us. And we have several people that commute from their homes. A lot of people live in Chicago. So we have these people and they come and they work for us and through us so that they can develop some vocational and life skills to live as independently as possible. So luckily enough, I work at the Farmyard. So we have a little bit over 300 animals and we're open usually between April and October. This year, obviously with COVID, it was a little different, but we did get to stay open for a while. And now we're in our close season. So it's a little bit quiet here and we're all a little bit happy about that because it was a hectic summer. So I'm just going to walk through and start in this barn. And then we'll give you a tour. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And for Sophia and Malu, who are very excited about pigs, you are very lucky because we have 7 pigs that live here at the farm. So we're going to start with this group. Hi, guys. Hi, friends. Okay. So this is Oliver. Oliver is a potbelly pig. Believe it or not, when his former family had him, they were told that he was a mini pig and he would only get to 35 pounds. Little did they know that mini pigs don't really exist. There are small pigs and smaller breeds of pigs, but potbelly pigs usually mature between 150 and 200 pounds. And they don't make the greatest house pets if they're not trained and neutered and spayed. So you can see this is Oliver. He's about 8 years old. And you can see his huge tusks on the side. He's due for a tooth trim. So he'll be, so we'll do that with some specialized dental equipment. So that way he keeps himself safe and the pigs around him and then the people that are working around him safe. He's not a mean pig, he's very friendly, but you can see how him just swinging his head around might accidentally cut someone or something. Then behind him we have Mezzo. Mezzo is about 5 years old, and she is called a Juliana pig. Juliana pigs are similar to potbelly pigs. They actually are recognized as being generally smaller than potbellies. Mezzo used to live inside with her family, but her family underwent some tragedy, so she decided to come, or she was able to come live here. And I heard that someone wants to boop a snoot, so here we go. Boop. And then where's this little troublemaker? Here, pig. This is Dodger. Dodger is a red wattle pig, and red wattles are farm pigs, so they are widely used for their meat production. They're a really good yielding pig, and they're called red wattles because he's got wattles here, these little dingleberries. He's got 2 of them, and they're supposed to have 2, and that's why we call them that. So Dodger is a runt, and he came from a farm in Kenosha, who the owner of that farm is my friend, and he sometimes will place his runt pigs with us, and they just live with us and live a happy little life here. So Dodger's younger. He was born this summer, and he stayed really small. All his brothers and sisters are at least twice as big as him. So he lived here, and he was really little when he came, and he lived with a teddy bear, and we gave him a lot of attention, and he finally just got big enough to live with Oliver and Mezzo. You can see he's pretty much a really pretty copper color, just like a penny, but he's got 1 or 2 little black spots on his butt, which is pretty common. Sometimes you'll see red wattles with silver hair or black spots, or no wattles, but typically they want them to have wattles. So pigs are really friendly and really usually pretty gregarious, even though sometimes they're hard to introduce. But the best part about them is if you rub their bellies, they almost always lay down. They love belly rubs, are their favorite things. Sorry, I'm getting my shadows in here.
So Chloe on our YouTube chat says that Dodger is the cutest, and they hope he is having an amazing day.
He is having a pretty good day. He's got some toys in here. And then during the day, when I clean this barn, I open the door, and then he gets to go wherever he wants in the barn. And if it's nice outside, he gets to go outside and root around in the grass. And luckily, we have some mud, so he's been having fun with that. A funny thing about pigs is they love to nest. You can see that this is a big pile of straw. We have some blankets over here. So you can see Mezzo rooting around and scraping with her front feet, and she is trying to make her little nest. And they'll kind of just pack in here, kind of like sausages, I forgive the pun. So they'll lay next to each other, and then Dodger will lay right up against Mezzo. And pigs don't regulate their heat very well. They do have a lot of fat, but they don't have much hair, at least these pigs. So they always huddle together to stay warm. So they'll just probably, by the time that I'm done in this barn, they'll all be tucked in with each other. Except maybe Dodger, because he likes to follow people. And if you guys didn't know, Oliver and Dodger were named after the Disney film Oliver and Company. I might be dating myself, but it's from the 80s. It's my favorite Disney show. And we all like Disney here, so a lot of our animals, if you pay attention, have Disney names.
Which is also named after the famous Dickens book, Oliver Twist.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I have not read that.
I don't, me neither.
Right. We're going to come over here. This is Oakley. Got something on your face. Oakley is a standard donkey. She actually came from an auction in Missouri. She was really sick when she came here. A friend contacted me to see if she could come. So she was really sick, and after about 4 or 5 days, we decided that she was on the turn for the better. You can see her big whiskers. So horses use these whiskers to feel their surroundings, feel the floor and the walls. And they say that these whiskers are each attached to like, I don't know the proper way to say it, but like synapses or nerves in the brain. So in several countries, it's illegal to trim their whiskers because they use them for so much sensory information. So Oakley is about, she's about 20 months old. And so she should get a little bit bigger. And you can see how big her ears are. I haven't measured her ears, but each of them is at least, I would say, 16 inches long. They're really big and fuzzy, and they'll just get fuzzier as the winter goes on. Horses and donkeys get thicker coats in the winter. Come here, honey. Go ahead. And this is Oakley's best friend, Ruby. They just had dinner, so they've got some hay on the floor. So at night, they stay in here and get their dinners. And then during the day, they can walk around in some bigger stalls. And if the weather's nice, then they'll be able to get turned out. But we've had some rain and some freezing temperatures, so it's icy. So we have to be a little bit careful because, especially with the horses, because they have their hooves, which are not very good on ice. And we wouldn't want them to slip. And then here is one of our most famous animals at the farm, Joseph. Where are you, buddy? Hey, cutie. Oh, there he is. So this is Joseph. He's our dromedary camel. Boop. And he is about, we don't know his actual age, but we estimate him around 18 years old. And camels can live until they're 40 or more. So Joseph used to be a ride camel locally in this county. And then he got retired. He didn't want to work too much anymore. And he was having some health problems that they couldn't get to the bottom of. So he came to live here and we treated him. And I'm actually an equine and large animal dentist. So I worked on his teeth and I got him all set up. And he came to live here. And you could see if I can get in here. Come on, buddy, back up. Jack, go away. So this is his stall where he lives overnight. His hump is about 8 feet tall. So this is actually one of the only stalls that we have that's tall enough to accommodate him. And we always leave this top stall door open so he can stick his head out and say hello to all the other animals in this barn. There he is. Hi, cutie. And it's a little dark in here, so I'm going to get out of this darkness. But he's probably one of the most friendly animals here on the farm. And he will almost chase you down to get pet. Oh, but I got to go. He is a little bit naughty too. He's known to steal rakes and dollies and buckets. He likes especially to flip water buckets. So you have to go in there and fill them over and over again. And then he gets more petting time because obviously you have to pet him when you're filling his water bucket. And then what else?
Do you know how long his neck is?
That's a good question. I don't know how long his neck is. If I had to guess, I would say about 5 feet. If we were going from like the base of his neck on his chest, from the underside to where his jaw begins, I'd say about 4.5 to 5 feet. He can definitely stretch it. He likes to, when he's turned out, he likes to go trim all of our trees, and he can definitely stand on his tippy toes and stretch. So this is our rabbit herd. We have several different kinds in here. The oldest rabbit that we have is Popeye right here. He is a Himalayan rabbit. He was actually dumped here about 10 years ago. Someone actually smuggled him in and dropped him off in one of our enclosures. And that's when I found him. And then next to him, we have Patrick Swayze, who's an Angora rabbit. And he's got really cute, excuse me, Popeye, says hello. Patrick Swayze has really cute little apricot ears. And we have Joseph saying hello right behind us. Ouch. And then we have Sophia, who was also dropped off here. And she's just sort of a mixed rabbit. Watch out, honey. And we have Leonie in the back, who's very small. She's a dwarf rabbit. Oh, along with that one. So these guys live outside. They love living together. Rabbits can be kept alone, but they also do like living in groups. They call groups of rabbits colonies, and it's a healthy way to raise rabbits. And they do really well in the cold. The only times they really need to come in is when it's very hot inside. So if it's over 85 degrees, they get to come inside and live inside. Joseph is very curious about what's going on with the rabbits right now. He wants to be the star. And then during the summer, when the weather's nice, we actually have a rabbit garden. So that is where, excuse me, buddy, that's where the rabbits go during the summer, during the day. And they get to hop around and dig holes and eat the grass. I plant clover for them, so that way they can snack on some clover when they're out. Sorry, excuse me. Right. Let's go see what else we can see. So I'm going to head out of this barn and go to a different barn. So I apologize if it's a little dark out. You can see a little bit of what the farm looks like. This is the yard where Joseph gets to go out and the donkeys get to go out during the day. That's usually where our goat herd lives. Let's go see these cows quickly before it gets too dark to see them.
Do most of the animals get along, or do you have to keep most of them kind of like separated?
They mostly get along. So most of our animals are herd animals, they're farm animals, so they are gregarious and they like to live in herds. I need to turn this water off quickly. So we do have them separated as far as like species, just so that way there's some, so it just looks a little bit better as a presentation. So we can say, this is our herd of cows, this is our herd of goats and sheep and things like that. And it's a little bit easier for our signage and information. But they all do get along. We do have some mixed group of animals that are different species and breeds, and they all get along. Let's see. Here we go. So this is our cow yard, and this is Junebug, and she is a dairy mix cow. She came from Ohio. And I would like to show you the other one, but it is getting a little bit dark out here. So let's see what we can do. Zoom in here. Nope. So we also have a Jersey Dexter cross cow. And her name is Stella. And she was actually owned by Brian Urlacher of the Chicago Bears, who lives really close to Lamb's Farm. And he raised Stella and her best friend Squirt, who's a donkey, from when they were 3 days old. And then when he and his family moved, he donated her to lambs, and she is, if I can use my finger, this brown one right here. She's really pretty. She's what we call a brindle, so she's red with some darker stripes and a darker face. And then you can kind of see some black shapes next to her. Here's Junebug. Hi, June. And these darker cows are Angus mixed cows, and Angus cows are black, so they're not showing up very well. But we have Hannah and Buttercup. Here comes Hannah. Hi, Banana. And she's so dark we can hardly see her. But Hannah was came here when she was just a few days old, and we bottle raised her. And then Buttercup came when she was about a year old. So let's go to some animals that we can see a little bit better. Then you can see some structures here. This is where the rabbits and the tortoises go when it's nice out. We have houses for them and shade sails, and they have a pretty good time. We will quickly go over here. Hey, boys. Boys. So this is Skippy, and he is an American paint horse. And they're called paint horses because you can see by his pattern. He's got a blanket on right now. You can see by his pattern that he has 2 different colors. He's very friendly. He loves to be scratched and pet. And he's got super long hair that sometimes we braid. And he's got a really long mane. And this is a pretty classic Paints are widely recognized as Western horses, so he's a pretty classic looking paint horse. And then this is his best friend, Tahoe. And Tahoe is a thoroughbred Arabian cross. So thoroughbreds, we of course know, are the horses that race in the Kentucky Derby, and they're bred for speed and being really athletic. And Arabians are typically from Egypt, and they are very light and quick horses as well. And they're known as thin-skinned horses, so they don't grow a lot of hair in the winter. So that is why Tahoe is bundled up. He's got 3 layers of blankets on, you can see, to keep him warm. And he loves wearing clothes. Putting blankets on is his favorite time of year.
Do these clothes include hats?
Sometimes, only for special occasions. It's fun. All right, let's go see our goats and llamas. Hey, cuties. Cuties. Okay, so this is where our llamas live. The llamas are very gentle animals, and they are widely used as guardian animals for other species like goats and sheep. They can be trusted to be really friendly with other animals for the most part. So when we have animals that need a little bit of extra food or some extra TLC or babies, they come in here to live with the llamas because they're so gentle. And this is Mowgli. He's an alpaca. He's very small and he loves baby goats. So he always gets to have some baby goats that he lives with because he would much rather hang out with baby goats than he would with other llamas or alpacas. Hey guys, hey stinkies. So these are all of our baby goats from this year. Every year we get a handful of baby goats to raise. So we try to incorporate different breeds, although these ones are my very favorite. They're called Nubian goats. And you can see they originate from Africa, and they have really long ears, and they have long ears to dispense heat from their bodies during the hot days. So this is Brago, and this is his brother Strider. And you can see how fuzzy they are. They get really fuzzy. In the winter, they put on some extra hair, and then they can fluff their hair up to conserve their body heat. So they stay really warm. Then this is Thistle. He's a Nigerian goat, and Nigerians are the smallest breed of goats, and they are actually used as dairy goats, which is what these Nubians are as well. And Thistle's sister is right here. Her name is Sis. Oh, she's chocolate colored. And then we have these boys who you could totally tell are brothers. Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. So this is Torque, and this is his brother Quill. So they look really alike. Nigerians are very smart, but they're also very playful and naughty. And they're always active and they're always up to something. And then Nubians have really loud voices, but they're very sweet. And then this is Blue. Blue is also a Nubian. You could see his big long ears. And Nubians have a fun color that they can come in, and it's called moon spotted. So Blue has lots of moon spots. You can see they're all different colors. And he loves spending time with the little babies. And this is Captain. Captain is a little bit older goat, so he's in here to get some TLC and some extra food. And we have Snoopy. Snoopy is a Nubian boar cross. He looked just like Snoopy when he was a baby, so that's what we stuck with. And then this is Tommy. So Tommy is our only llama right now. And Tommy actually used to live in northern Wisconsin in Boulder Junction. And he used to protect horses and their foals from a pack of wolves. They have the biggest pack of wolves in Wisconsin. I think there was 26 members in that pack. And Tommy and his mom protected the horses. Hi guys. Hi friends. Stinkies. Do you guys have any questions about the goats or the llamas? Oh.
Do you think the goats... Oh, sorry. Do you think the goats realize that the llamas are different from them, or do they just treat them as like the same?
I think that they probably know they're a different species because they have different vocalizations and mannerisms. But what are you doing? But they've all been raised together since birth, so they're just used to each other. I think that they know they're different, but they all belong here together. Hey guys, you guys are so cute. And these guys have been learning some tricks and learning how to walk on collars and leashes, so that way we can use them as outreach animals to go for special events or to travel to schools. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to do that again. Hi, Stinkies.
Or would you maybe come to libraries for teens studying for finals to pet?
We would totally do that. We're planning, hopefully, once we're allowed, to be able to have a small traveling group of animals, hopefully including a couple goats and some of our reptiles and maybe some birds. We would love to do that. Hi, Snoop. You're a good boy.
That would be fun. So it seems like very few of these goats have horns. Is that because they're younger, or is it the breed of goat?
So in some breeds of goats, like these Nigerians that Torque and Quill are, they can be called polled, Polled, and polled just means that they're born without horns. And then other goats that have horns, we disbud them when they're very young. So that's kind of like destroying the horn bud, because most of these animals, the public is allowed to interact with them, and in better years, visitors are allowed to go inside their enclosure with them and pet them. And horns are just a little bit dangerous. You can see the height of a goat is kind of the height of a child that might be visiting, so we don't want anyone to get accidentally knocked with a horn, or we don't want them to injure each other. And then sometimes, like goats that come here, who we haven't raised since birth, have been dehorned by other people, and you can see they're called skurs. And skurs just means it wasn't a very good job, so not all of the horn bud was destroyed during the process. So it grows a little bit. So Captain has this one, and about every year I have to cut it and trim it back a little bit, because you can see it kind of heads towards his eye. So when our vet comes out next month, we'll be trimming that back. But some of these procedures are better done in the winter because heat can stress them out, along with the process of cutting that. And we also don't want flies to get into the situation and make it not sterile. Hi guys, hi stinky boys, you're cute. And if anyone is a fan of The Lord of the Rings, Brago and Strider were horses from that movie. So we kind of went on a horses from movies theme a little bit this year, and then we strayed away. All right, so let's head inside and see our animals. Since it's getting so dark out, we'll see our small animals. It's kind of pretty here at night because we have lots of lights. Unfortunately, the highway is behind us, so it is a little bit loud, but I'll try to walk through it. And then as you can see, we're getting closer here to our indoor building. And this is one of our aviaries that we have. We have several aviaries throughout our farmyard. This particular one is where we have an iguana and a tortoise. And we have 3 other ones that are used for our small birds. And they spend their time outside in the summer. So this is our Discovery Center. This is where all of our small animals live. And any of our animals that need to live in a climate controlled area, like our lizards and our tortoises in the summer, in the winter. So we'll just go through cage to cage here. And some of our animals might be sleeping, so you may not be able to see all of them, but you should be able to see most of them. So we have an Argentine tegu in this enclosure, and that is a large lizard from South America. And they can get 3 to 4 feet long. So he's doing a really good job of hiding his body. And these are our pigeons. These are domestic pigeons. They are mixed pigeons. And their names are Doodle on the left and Peck on the right. And they're very friendly. They were hand raised by us. And they live in here.
I do have a quick throwback question. We just noticed from the chat. How do llamas protect from wolves?
So llamas are not native to North America. They're from South America. And when they are alarmed, they do this crazy scream. You would have to Google it because they don't do it here very often. But they're so foreign and alien to the animals and predators that we have here that usually just them screaming and throwing a fit is good enough to ward off animals. And then also they have specialized teeth. So ruminants, animals that chew their cud like cows and llamas and goats and sheep, don't have upper incisors. They have lower front teeth, but not upper ones. And llamas are specialized in that they do have two upper teeth in the front of their mouth, incisors, and they have grown to be almost look like fangs. So they have one set of sharp incisors and two sets of canines. And those are very, very sharp, and they can really do some damage to a predator if they are able to get close enough to them. So they have several ways to ward off predators, and they use all of them. So
Awesome.
this is Sam. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I thought it was just the screaming, I was like, that's no different than what I could do. But the teeth thing is definitely a step up from me.
Yeah, they have better teeth than us for sure. And of course they can spit, but that's not going to deter too many animals, although it does smell really bad. So this is Sam, and he is a sulcata tortoise. Sulcata tortoises are from the arid deserts of Africa. Sam is about 107 pounds. We don't know how old he is. Unfortunately, you can't really tell the age of a tortoise from their size because a lot of their size depends on their husbandry. Unfortunately, you can see on Sam's shell, he has some damage because before he came to us, he wasn't fed a very good diet. So you can see the sharp angles of his shell. It's called pyramiding, and that's when he's fed a diet too rich in calcium. So his body just puts on extra shell to compensate for it, and he gets very pointed ridges on his shell. Yeah. So hopefully you guys can hear me over the screaming. But this is our parakeet aviary, and these parakeets came to us. They were breeder releases from a pet store. So they live in here now, and they have a big space. And we have some little quail that live at the bottom. These are called button quail. Oh, there they go. And they are really handy. We have them at the bottom of a lot of our aviary because they pick up all the seeds that our parrots drop. Parrots are pretty messy eaters, so these little quail are really handy. And they lay little tiny eggs, and they are the smallest, cutest eggs in the whole world. And we actually feed these eggs to our pigs and our carnivorous lizards. And sometimes us. So let's see who else we have here. We got some chickens. So these are the smallest breed of chicken. There we go. These are called Sarama chickens. And this is Sansa in the front. She's got a little nest of eggs back here. Really teeny tiny eggs. And this is Shakespeare. And he does a really good job of protecting her and his eggs. So you can see, let's see if he lets me grab it. Come here, bud. I know. You're so good. So you can see, people actually show these chickens a lot, and they really like it when they sit up like this. They're supposed to sit and puff their chests out and stick their tails up and droop their wings, and it makes them look really fancy. And then this is kind of like how they would set them up if they were going to show them. He's got really pretty feathers. I love his feathers. You guys want to walk around? You can walk around. You can see Sansa is even tinier than Shakespeare. And got some birds here. Hi, Saren. Hi, honey. This is Saren, and short for serendipity. And she's a 16-year-old African gray parrot. And she's a Congo African gray. That's the largest kind of African gray. And she just came here to live with us a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, her mom and dad had some health issues, and they couldn't keep her anymore. So this is where she lives now. We love her. We're just learning all the things that she says. Honey. And her most common thing she says right now is, do you want an almond? Because almonds are her favorite.
Wait, so she's offering you an almond? Or is it she's just repeating because that's what you say to her?
Yeah, that's what her parents would say. Do you want an almond?
Yeah.
So that's what she says. She definitely would not share her almonds with me if she had any.
There is some major love in the chat for Shakespeare as a name for a chicken.
Isn't it good? We try to, with all these animals that we have, we try to be pretty creative, because you can imagine that we've gone through a lot of names. So yeah, if you guys have any good name suggestions to throw out there, let me know. We'll keep them in our pockets for new animals. So this is Jimmy. He is a Quaker parrot, also known as a monk parakeet. And these parrots are actually illegal to own in a lot of states because they can be very invasive. They're really hardy parrots that can live in cold weather. So we actually have wild monk parakeets that live in Illinois, in Wisconsin, in New York, and of course the southern states where it's warmer, in California. So Jimmy's just a baby, and he's just learning how to talk. Quaker parrots are known for their talking abilities. So he mostly says Jimmy right now, and Jim Jam. And he makes little kissy sounds. Oh, and he makes crabby sounds. Ooh, there's a bird. And he's really clingy. And he always wants to be on me. So that's him that you can hear in the background when I'm not paying attention. Jim Jam.
Are these the parrots that are famous for living on the south side?
I think so.
Do you know? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of states, luckily they're not illegal to own in Illinois, but they are in Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin, California, and possibly New York. Yeah. Jim Jam, you're a good boy. Come here. Jim Jam. There you go. Let's put him away. And we'll visit some of you guys. I know, Jimmy.
We do have one suggested name for an animal. Maximilian the Infamous.
The Infamous. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think we have any Maxes right now, so we'll write that one down.
Make sure that the Infamous fits, though. If they don't seem infamous, save it for another one.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to waste on anyone that's not infamous, for sure. All right. So this is Carlos. Carlos is a bearded dragon. He's about 4 years old, and he is full green. And Carlos came to us from a boy who raised him. We got him when he was 2, and he was hand raised by a boy his whole life. So he's really friendly. Unfortunately, they were moving and they couldn't take him with. So he is really friendly, and you can see, if I can get close, you can see the spikes on his beard. So that's why they're called bearded dragons, because they have these crazy looking spikes, but they're really soft. They're not very hard at all. And they're attached by some pretty loose skin. So they're really soft, and he loves being pet. And he has gone to several schools to do outreach programs. He loves just sitting on his heated blanket when we go places and just hanging out and getting pet. He eats salads, and then sometimes he gets hornworms or roaches or crickets. He got kiwi today and ate all the kiwi out, left his lettuce, so hopefully he'll eat better tomorrow. There we go. Let's see Jim. Oh, so our tortoises are done eating dinner. They made a mess, but I call this our wireless tortoise recharging station. So what we have here, the red thing, is a hog mat, and it gets warm, and it's used to raise baby pigs. And then we have a heat lamp on top of it. So this is Daz. He's about 10 years old, and you can see he's got a really nice, smooth, rounded shell, and that's what we want to see. And you can see that Betty has a little bit of a flat shell, so that's just evidence of some improper diet before. So these guys are allowed to roam around our Discovery Center, and then they just come back here, and this is where they sleep. It doesn't stay on overnight because they're accustomed to cooler nights, being desert animals, but this is where they hang out. We have some mice back here. This is where our little mice condo. And let's see these guys. So these are our ferrets. also known as carpet sharks. Hey guys, we have 3 ferrets here, and they're very sleepy. Come on, there you are. There you are. So this is Tarzan. He's about 5 years old. He was actually abandoned at a vet college in Tinley Park, and he came to live here. His brother is somewhere on the other side. So they're pretty lazy most of the time. They spend a lot of their time sleeping, but in the couple hours a day that they're awake, they're really active. And I don't know if you can hear in the background, but Saren is making FaceTime noises because I think she thinks that I'm on FaceTime right now. So here's Tarzan. We'll go and we can see
I just wanted to share some messages from our comments. Carlos is so handsome. And then we also have a teen who is very jealous to be a tortoise vibing on a heat mat.
Right? That's kind of where I want to hang out.
Yeah.
I have been known to sit there with them when I come in from the cold because it is really warm right there. And the cats love to hang out. Oh, so I don't know if you saw that ferret go by, but we have tubes that connect all of our ferret enclosures. So the area where Tarzan just was is connected by a PVC tube to this one. He just ran in this tube. Let's see if we can find his brother. Oh, this is his sister Stella. And Stella is about 9 years old, which is pretty old for a ferret, but she's really healthy. And she's very dainty. And she used to live by herself because she was donated alone. So we were really happy to get Tarzan and his brother because they love to cuddle and play together. And Stella was so happy when she got 2 new brothers. Hi, Stella. Oh, that was a big yawn. Yep. Here's your brother. Oh, here's brother. Oh, here's brother. And this is Adonis. We call him Adonis because he's so handsome. So I don't know that they're brothers, but we got Tarzan and Adonis at the same time, so we say they're siblings. But Adonis is the same age as Tarzan, about 5 years old. And they are litter pan trained, but they can be kind of messy. We do provide them with a lot of litter. Here's everybody. So Stella was in the loft. We try to change things up in their enclosure every couple months so they don't get bored. But they love comfort items like cat trees and cat houses, and blankets. Stella has a stuffed animal of a ferret that she used to cuddle a lot before she got brothers, but now she cuddles her brothers. Hey guys, hey guys. So you can see how much smaller Stella is than everyone else. And her brothers are pretty chunky. Hey guys, back up, I know. Back up.
What did they eat?
Yeah. Hello?
Hi, what did they eat?
What do they eat? Oh, sorry. So they eat ferret food. So ferrets are carnivores. So they would eat small, like wild ferrets, eat small animals. So a lot of people feed them cat food, and a lot of people feed them meat and raw diets. And these ferrets aren't interested in that, so they eat a formulated ferret kibble by a company called Missouri. Oh, here we go. So we have 2 chinchillas that live at Lambs, and this is Chester. And he is about a 4-year-old male chinchilla. And he's really friendly and really, really soft. You can see his tiny little feet. Chinchillas have the cutest little feet. Oh. Hey, buddy. He's got a big enclosure here. And they're from a really arid part of the world in South America. So they don't urinate a lot. So they are actually really clean animals that don't have a lot of smell. Unlike like if you think of a hamster or a rat, other common small animals, and they're really clean. Hey, buddy. They have really big whiskers to help them find their way around at night. Hey, bud. And they have really, really soft hair. I'm petting him now. And you almost can't tell that you're petting them because their hair is so soft. Brushy tails. Bud. And he makes a really good, excuse you, ambassador animal because he is so friendly. Lots of chinchillas are a little bit shy, but he's a really great animal for everyone to see. Geronimo. And this is one of our farm cats named Geronimo. He was donated to us by someone that we work with who grooms some of our small animals. She rescues cats, so he came to live here when he was only 6 weeks old. I think we'll end on the cats. So this, come here, kittens. So we have Snuffles, who was dumped here when he was 6 weeks old. You can hear it's a cacophony now. So we have our roosters going. Saren's making some noise. Everyone's a little bit jealous. You guys have any more questions for me, or you want to see any animals before we sign off?
Real quick, how many cats do you guys have on in the farm?
We have 6 cats. So we have Geronimo. This is Keanu. Keanu's mom was dumped here when she was only probably about 9 months old. And then she had 3 kittens. So she actually, his mom went to go live with my assistant manager. And then Keanu stayed here. Oh my goodness. And then we have Snuffles. And I think our other cats are outside right now. Oh, we have one more. So Snuffles was dumped here with his brother. And this is his brother. His brother's name is Zazzles. If you guys watch The Big Bang Theory. That's one of Sheldon Cooper's cats. And we think that they're ragdoll mixes because of their coloring and their hair. Kittens. He's a cute cat. He's got his little toe beans. They're mostly pink, but some of them are different colors. Hey, kitty. And he has really pretty blue eyes. You're a good boy.
So I know the alpacas and the llamas and the goats all get along really well. Are there any other fun, like, interspecies friendships?
So at this point, not right now. We did have one of our cows, our cow Hannah, who's one of our Black Angus crosses. She actually used to live with that little apricot colored alpaca named Mowgli that you met, and then 2 other goats. But then she got pretty big and she got a little rambunctious when she turned about 2 years old. So she ended up living with the other cows and she's really happy there. They all play and she's got different balls and we give them trees and logs to play with. She just got a little bit too playful and rambunctious, and the goats and the alpaca were just a little bit too small to put up with her antics. Other than that, we have the pretty standard relationships. The cat Geronimo is my dog's best friend, so that's probably the only other relationship we have here. Come on, honey. Come on.
Well, thank you so much for visiting with us.
Yeah,
We had so much fun.
I'm glad you guys can at least visit virtually.
Yeah, definitely. We're glad we were able to join you. I feel ready to study, even though I don't have anything to study for. So I hope all the rest of you feel good and prepped. We are, of course, ready to help you. And this video will be saved on our YouTube, and we will link to it from our website if you guys ever just need to come back and get to this calm, happy place to visit all our animal friends at Lamb's Farm again. Malo and Sophia, did you have any last minute questions?
Not really. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great to meet you guys, at least virtually. Hopefully in the future, next year when we're open, you guys can visit in person. All the animals I know are missing all the interaction that they get from our guests. So we will all be happy to see everybody.
We hope so too. Jody, thank you so much.
You bet. Take care, you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.